How's it going, everybody? Greetings from Nerdiest Diamond. Today we're on part 3 of Zeta Toys Mini Superion, or Legend Scale Superion. And this time we're taking a look at the arm bots, that being Slingshot and Sky... God, their names. Fireflight. And yeah, I will say, these certainly are a mix for me in comparison to the last 3 that we looked at. They're just not like up to standard as the Limbots and Silverbolt, but they're not awful either. Let's take a look at my least favorite aerial bot, i.e. my most hated. Turns into a supposed Harrier jump jet. Not really though, because it's kind of look like made up bullshit. Even the intake manifolds on the sides are stretched to say that they're based off of that jet. The cockpit, though, like I said, like ignoring those, pretty much spot on, honestly. That is impressive, I will say. It comes with that little shit thing that it has on the actual jet, the opposite. I don't know what this is called, but, I mean, it's there if you like it. The stripes here are actually not terribly done. They're actually the second best done stripes in this entire set. I quite like them. Same with the dorsal wing. Although it sucks there's no red on it. But nice there's any blue. If only there was a way they could just have the shins spin around. Because honestly, that would really save like a lot of aerial bot jet mode. Especially his. It would so help. Of course, the absolutely abysmal undercarriage silhouette would almost be perfect if not for his shins. And he slides like a jet. Not so good. Oh. Okay, well, that actually was about to lead me to the problem with this set. But I'll get to that in a minute. This would be Fireflight, who turns into an F4 Phantom. And is pretty much close to perfect, honestly. The very aerodynamic body, which is kind of impressive in and of itself. The very low-hanging wings with a more centered, stable base. And, of course, the angled wings, which I really like. And these are the best stripes done in the set, by the way. Lovely blue and yellows. Nice. The cockpit is also quite lovely. It has a little gun, too. The dorsal wing is actually painted pretty decently. It just sucks that the white is only on this part and not in the blue area, too. I think that would look super cool. Probably not accurate, but looked better than that. And there he is from the bottom and top. Again, shins kind of ruined the awesome-looking thrusters here. Now, this is my problem with this set, and that is the plastic quality, and I brought it up with Silverbolt. The plastic quality is not that great. It's so not great that the hinge for this broke. It was the small little hinge that was pinned to the base clip. Yeah, this thing's broken. This is why I've been kind of holding off on this review. And I eventually said, screw it, I'll just review it. Just for the sake of it. And yeah, broken. Not a good look on them. But anyway, let us get down to some size comparisons. Starting with Core Class Starscream, and yeah, again, wildly different takes, and way out of scale, because, for those who don't know, the Harrier jump jet is tiny. It's a tiny jet. And the F4 Phantom is big. It's a big jet. But also one thing I actually do like that I just noticed, I like the different wing shapes. Very droopy wings, very raised wings. But yeah, there is Starscream. Or, well, if I could do it. Starscream with Slingy. And I'm not doing Fireflight for the sake of not having it fall off more. Of course, Pocket Toys Blast Off. Again, insinuating how incorrect the scale is. But I'm not going to waste too much time on that one. There you go. And, of course, the aerial bots. And for what it's worth, they all don't look half fucking bad with next to each other. Again, though, yes, I know, and I'm going to keep saying it, small-ass fucker. But, yeah, they do actually look quite nice together. You can't deny that. They all look great. So before we get into transformation, we have a couple accessories to take a look at. That being, starting with the blasters here. I believe these are Fireflight's blasters. not terrible. Sucks that the energy bar is just a line, no lines in it, but not terribly done. I always found it goofy that Fireflight's blaster has not just two barrels, but also two magazines. This man's going places. This man's like planning ahead. But yeah, I always get confused because Slingshot's blasters are double barreled. The only difference is the line in the middle. They're longer and they're smaller, and also no magazines. But again, not terribly done. A little bit simple, but not terrible. All right, let's bring in Slingshot since I'm holding him. There we go. There we go. And I actually really like Slingshot's blasters here. First things first, they're really close to the body, which is great. Second, they're close to the wings. Third, they just look super compact and really nice next to his wings, considering it's weird though, he's a stunt jet. And Fireflight. Surprised his tail wing didn't fall off. Also, if it helps to know which is which, Fireflight does have a slot for the magazines. So, yep, well, there it goes. But, of course, square peg in round hole, which is more frustrating because why didn't they just make it round? Like, why didn't they just make them have round ports? Or handles, rather. Because Silverbolt does. And the last thing to talk about are the hands, which are some of the best articulated legend scale hands ever. Honestly, just because at the very least, unlike Bruticus, they can do that. They can splay. And also the thumb is hyper articulated, which I much appreciate. And also that. I love it when the wrist gets a proper articulated part and not just a swivel. It needs more. It needs to have this and this and this. We need more wrist tilting action. However, like Fireflight, I gotta have problems with this set. Really? Like, really, Zeta toys? No thumb? Lovely. Anyway, let us get down to transformation. And the first thing we're going to do is go into arm mode. And like the other two members, Arid and Skydive, we are only going to showcase one member. I've already transformed the other, but the difference is I'm not showing you anything different because these guys transform identically. Which, yeah, no, fuck me as well. Jeez, everything comes off. Yeah, take off the weapons. Fold in the wingtips. And thankfully, due to the fact they're, well, actually not thankfully, due to the fact they're only on ball joints, you don't have to worry about, like, maneuvering the wings around just to undo the legs like so. And then open the chest, bring elbow joint out, and this tab will go into this slot right there. Like so. Rotate like this, and then like this, I believe. This is their proper orientation. Then you open the cockpit up, take the head out, then swing like this, but also turn the head around, so that way you can fold it like that. That is because it'll take the place of the combiner peg. Flip that around like so. Then bring in the cockpit and head section. And let's just line the wings up like this. And there you go. Oh, wait, hold on. Rotate the combiner peg. Well, you'll see why when we get to Superion. And let's bring this thing in. Split the thrusters in half. Fold this in. And while folding it in, there is this tab that exposes itself that goes into this slot on the bar, on that armature there. And there you go. There you have Fireflight. Oop, wait, hold on. I almost forgot. The fist. Put that in and collapse like so. And I love that connection. That is very secure, and God, that's super nice. But there you go. There you have Fireflight and thus Slingshot in their arm modes. They're pretty well articulated. You got your elbow joints, you got your wrists, you got your biceps, you got everything. We'll talk more about these arms when we get Superion, of course, but these are some nice brolics. These are some beefy brolics. Look at those. Anyway, let us get down to robot mode. I've already removed the hand, and we're going into robot mode. And again, we already got one because they transform identically. We'll take care of the other. Get that out of my way. Let's just rotate the combiner peg for good measure. Take the cockpit out. Bring this back. And there you go. You practically fill out the chest, but undo the chest. Swing out the arms on their armatures because they're kind of cool how they work for me. For me anyway, I like how they work. They're on this rotating axis with the shoulder plate. If it could let go, it won't let go. Why won't you let go? It won't let go. Oh, there we go. Now it's going. So it's a little rough, but the way it kind of works is feels a lot more mechanical in a way. Let me get it. Get it. I can't get it. There we go. It's weirdly tight though. There we go. Now I got it. Okay. Now before we bring let's lower the legs out just for good measure as we collapse the elbow joint in the abdomen. Then there's a number of tabs that will go into their slots right here, of course, including the elbow joint. Why won't you go in? Won't go in. There we go. Now we got it. Okay. Also, I do like how the shoulder here is on a multitude of joints, which I appreciate. Okay, that's weird. The hand fell off. Weird. I'll get to that when we get to articulation. But let's straighten out the arms. Lock them into place. Get the arm out. Rotate at the waist. Then, so the way these sliders work are kind of confusing and kind of annoying at the same time. They're on a double set of sliders. You bring the shin up and then slide the calf down. You see the screw here till it locks into place. And then once you do, then you can rotate the foot around on its ball joint, and then there you go. Practically have the leg done. So do the same thing here. Make sure the shin is completely extended. Then push the fucking calf. Oh my god, it's stuck in there. There we go. Damn. Then rotate the fucking foot. Jeez. And there you got the legs all done. Fucking hell. Now let's just bring the head out. Tab it in. There's the head. And then bring this back in. Just tab it back in. And while we're at it, just pull the hands out. And there we go. There we have the robot modes for Fireflight and Slingshot all done. And for what it's worth, I actually do quite like these robot modes. Yeah, like I said, for what it's worth. Let's get a close look at the head sculpts. We're taking a look at the worst head sculpt first. Oh my god. What is that fucking face? Oh my goodness. Do you see that? Look at that atrocious smile. The silver paint ain't awful, and the blue paint is gorgeous, but oh my goodness, that fucking face. Oh, it's a doofy ass face. But yeah, not a terrible looking robot mode. Diecast parts never can complain when used accordingly. The kibble isn't abysmal, well, until we get to the baby jet, but not awful looking. Very simple though. Of course, Slingshot actually has the best head. I'm actually quite pleased with this. Again, oh, gorgeous metallic blue for that visor. Look at that bitch glow. Here, why not? Look at that bitch glow. Look at it. Incredible. And unlike Skydive, he actually has some incredibly lovely orange paint for the face. If my flashlight could fucking work. Okay, fine then, piece of shit. Anyway. Yeah, look at that. Gorgeous. Mouth, obvious. Nose, very much there. Just incredible. You rock. Good job. Jesus, I guess he fainted at his own face. Anyway. Quite lovely, I will say. Very broad, though. Like, he's very wide looking. I'm not gonna complain, though. It's kind of funny. Makes sense, because he's a jet. And yeah. Baby jet, not terrible looking at all. Could be worse. And there we go. Articulation for these two is the exact same, starting with a ball joint at the neck that gets them all the way up. Quite a bit down. And a full 360 if you so desire. I do not. And, of course, a slight dog. A double jointed shoulder that gets them out all the way like that, which is quite impressive, which I really like. And a full 360. A bicep swivel, single jointed elbow that gets them 90 degrees, and he's got the limp wrist. But oddly enough, he has a wrist swivel. Here's the problem, though. That peg. It's done the Magic Square way, which I actually really like, because, again, swappable hands. Here's the thing, though. This one is the worst way to do it, because they're tiny little pegs, and they fall off easily, as you saw when I transformed him. Magic Square does it better. Get that out of the way. Actually, no, don't get that out of the way. Ignoring the fact that he has no hinges, he does have a waist swivel. The hinges would actually negate it almost to here. Ball joints at the hips for some reason, even though the leg bots had proper universals. But they can get you the full split. Hip skirts can get out of the way to get you all the way forward. And if it weren't for the kibble, could go all the way back. Thigh swivel. Single joint knee bend that gets you 90 degrees in the worst way possible. Although it is nice that they did mold in a circular joint, so it looks like it's a strut bending. A ball joint at the toe, which can get you all the way around. You can literally turn it, but it's useless because it's on the fucking toe. I hate that. Can go up, like, not even noticeably, and goes down, but it's useless. But passably articulated, but I've been spoiled by some of Magic Square's offerings, and even Iron Factory's for that matter. But not terrible either. Since they're already holding their weapons, might as well just get down into some size comparisons. Starting with Core Class Starscream, as per usual. And yeah, way too small. Again, if these two swap places, you practically have the actual scale. Again, this is a small jet. That one actually would make more sense. The F4 Phantom is a fucking enormous jet. But yeah, that doesn't look horrible. Pocket Toys Blast Off. Jeez. Yeah, no. Also, quick update. I'm aware of like the bunch of problems I'm having with Blast Off and Vortex for Pocket Toys Bruticus. Once I make enough money, either through the sales or just whatever, or if I hope I find a job, I will buy a new set, and I'll let you guys know when that happens. I almost forgot this. Core Class Optimus. Yeah, not awful, but at least they're huge. And finally, the aerial bots. And they all do look quite nice together, especially with all of their flaws. They really do look great together. Honestly, like a built-up team. So that's been my look at the Zeta Toys ARM bots, or Slingshot and Fireflight, of the Zeta Toys Mini Superion. And yeah, they are the weakest of the set. And by weakest, I actually mean not pretty, like, bad, I guess. It is a review, of course, so I must be honest, and that's how honest I'm going to be. It's going to hurt. Mostly because of Fireflight's awful fucking face. I love emotive faces, but that one isn't even a good version of it. Like, Sun Surge is a better version of that kind of a face. But Slingshot's actually not the worst. Their articulation isn't anything to be ashamed of. If anything, I love the double jointed shoulders. It, as you can see, allows him to cross his chest without having to worry about a butterfly joint. It's just their god-awful proportions make their articulation kind of a chore to deal with, that is. All in all, I can recommend this set if you are looking for a Legend scale aerial bots, because, of course, Magic Square Stunticons. But until then, let's see what they got. Or in this instance, let's see what Superion's got. Thank you all for watching this review. I hope you all have a lovely day, evening, or night. This has been Nerdy's Time. Rolling out.